everyone, and welcome to our HP Indigo Live Labels webcast. My name is Maya Poleg, and I am the HP Indigo Worldwide Products and Solutions Manager. Today, we're hosting the second webcast in our series for you, our labels print community, powered by Dscoop. Since these days, unfortunately, you can't be here with us, we're inviting you virtually to see our labs and meet our experts here. We're broadcasting today directly from our HP Indigo V12 R&D lab in Israel. You're all invited to take an active part today by asking your questions and posting your comments on the chat. Our experts will be available to answer your questions live. Today, we're going to be talking about volume production on Indigo presses and how to automate your business and take you behind the scenes to deep dive on the HP Indigo V12 and understand how it can shape the future label production. Before we start, I'd like to share a short message from our Dscoop chairman and actually a label converter himself, Jay Dolleries. Jay.
Hi, my name's Jay Dolleries. I'm president and CEO of Innovative Labeling Solutions in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm also the global chair of Dscoop. And what a great community Dscoop is, especially during times like these where there's such a substantial crisis. Community is everything. And being able to share the things that are going right within our businesses, how we can sustain economically through this crisis is so important. There's so many resources on Dscoop that you can take advantage of. Please look into all of the things that are available on dscoop.com. And please take advantage of the resources of not only the web portal, but also the people within the community. Everybody is willing to help. Look for best practices of what people are doing to sustain through such a devastating crisis. Good luck to everybody out there. Stay safe and healthy.
Thank you so much, Jay. So I'd like to begin first with the HP Indigo V12. I know everyone here is very excited to hear about that one. So I want to invite in Nimrod, our product manager, to tell us a little bit more about it. Hi, Nimrod.
So welcome to where the future of label printing is being created. Today, label converters do their short runs on an Indigo, and they do their long runs on a Flexo. That's the easy part. But what about all those long runs which require digital capabilities? And how about all those mid-runs that actually compose the majority of volume production, but aren't officially produced on any of your current assets? HP Indigo introduces the new math of label printing with the HP Indigo V12 digital press, the first press to utilize the new industry-altering LEPX technology. The new math of label printing means printing at speeds of up to 120 linear meters per minute. It can deliver 130,000 linear meters a day and do so with just a single operator. The new math of label printing means agility during a shift or a day with up to 12 colors on press capability, giving you dozens of color combinations for you to use without stopping the press for changeovers. The new math of label printing means quality brands can count on with 1600 DPI resolution, achievable at max speed and with all colors and substrates. The new math of label printing means digitally producing full job baskets in lower overall cost than Flexo, allowing you to reduce $100,000s of dollars in overhead spending.
Thank you, Nimrod. So with us today is Yuval Golan and Yogev Barak to tell us a little bit more about it. Yuval and Yogev, why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hey Maya, hey everybody. My name is Yuval Golan, and I lead Indigo's strategy and product roadmap.
And I'm Yogev Barak. I lead the Indigo product and marketing team. Happy to be here again.
Great. So Yuval, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about how we do this magic.
Well, Maya, I don't know if you know, but a lot of this magic we already have. Actually, today, the HP Indigo print engines are already printing at the speed of 120 meters a minute, or almost 400 feet per minute, the speed at which this drum is rotating within the press. The reason why the output might seem slower is because of the architecture, a central impression, in which for each separation we add, we divide down the speed. So if our customer is printing in EPM, 3 separations, 120 divided by 3, that's 40 meters per minute.
So that is our current architecture. Now we're introducing LEPX, basically a new architecture. Tell us about that.
So LEPX is actually all about unleashing the inherent speed we already had in LEP by moving to an inline architecture, as you can see in this sketch.
But hold on a second. We're seeing it in the sketch, but we're actually seeing it for real, live here on the Indigo V12 right behind you. So maybe you can explain it right there.
That's a good point, Maya. So this is an LEPX engine, and what you see here is a blanket belt. Around it are arranged individual small imaging engines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Each one of these imaging engines consists of a writing head, a digital plate, and inking units, 2 per station. That means that while all of these are printing in parallel, the output of the press is the same as the output of the print engine, 120 meters per minute, or almost 400 feet per minute.
Amazing. So maybe we can see a few of the physical components that actually make this up. Maybe you can show us.
Let's see. Yogev, can you give me a hand?
Yep.
Let's talk about the building blocks of LEPX technology. The first building block is the writing head. This is the writing head we have today in Series 3.
Wow, I can see that's heavy for you, Yogev.
Yeah, as you can see, it's a bit heavy, it's a bit large. You can imagine having 6 of these inside the press would be not very effective. That's why we're moving to this, a new LED-based writing head that is much smaller and compact, and actually 1,600 DPI from day one.
Second one.
The second building block is the photo imaging drum, our PID. If you think about it, we're going to have 6 of these in the press. And the press is going to be printing 100 times, much faster. That means that we will need a much longer lifespan for each of these. Actually, these have 100 times longer lifespan than our current PIP. That means that we're expecting our customers to exchange this once every few weeks. The third building block is the blanket belt. As you can see, it's very similar to the blankets and the materials that we have today with Indigo Blanket, but the form factor, of course, is longer in order to enable the inline architecture.
Great. So, how does all this technology turn into the V12 press? Let's hear more about it from our product manager, Nimrod.
Other than the unwinder and the rewinder, the HP Indigo V12 has 3 main parts: the priming and web handling system, the print engine, and the joint ink cabinet and utility cabinet. In the priming and web handling system, we'll have the inline primer, the ILP, which will allow us to print on the wide range of substrates for which Indigo presses are known for. In the print engine, you can clearly see the LEPX architecture that we discussed with the large blanket belt and the different imaging engines which create the image. And last but not least is the joint ink cabinet and utility cabinet. The ink cabinet has a room for up to 12 inks. Now, it's not because we think there's a label out there which requires 12 inks, but we do think that during a shift or a day, label converters would like to change between 9, 10, 11 inks, and we don't want them to stop the press in order to change colors. So now, let's see it at work. This is what an Indigo press running at 120 linear meters per minute looks like. Isn't it beautiful?
So if it wasn't clear, the last part of this video was actually the press running at full speed, 120 meters a minute at 6 colors. So Yogev, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the R&D process. How did we develop this press?
Yeah, so this press was more than 6 years in the making. We developed it actually with a lot of collaboration with our customers. We brought here some of our customer operators. We used a lot our advisory board, our label advisory board, very experienced label converters from all over the world. And we put a lot of attention to try to make sure that the press is not only meeting its specs, but it also works very well within a production environment. And about that, we'll talk a little bit more later.
Great. Let's hear more about the development process actually from Golan, who heads up this program on our R&D team. Golan?
Hi everyone, my name is Golan Landsberg and I'm the V12 and LEPX program manager. I'd like to show you around what we are doing in the lab these days. Come and see. Hi there, it's me again. For almost 6 years and during the development and investigation, we isolated the different technology elements, study each one, and learn the performances and sensitivities to assure product and technology robustness. Here you can see the print engine breadboard used to test many of the print process elements. Only after we tested each critical element in the technology, we move into building the full press. Now, working to complete the full system integration, conducting rigorous system testing to assure we meet product requirements. We also use an extensive ongoing feedback from customers, operators, and service engineers to improve our solution, design, and overall user experience. Conducting workshops, customer design reviews, user observations, and building many prototypes and mock-ups for real-world physical experience.
Thank you, Golan. So, Yuval, operating such a productive press really requires a significant change in how you operate it, right? And actually the entire operator experience. What did we do here?
Well, Maya, we wanted that one operator will be able to run this press and allow her or him to be able to have seamless transition between the jobs they need to print during the shift. So we had a big focus on user experience from day one when designing this press, both its hardware, software, and user interface. I think the team did a remarkable job here.
Let's get Nimrod's perspective here. I'd actually really like to see that.
The last topic for our demo today has to do with user experience. One key mission our design team had was making sure that the HP Indigo V12 requires only a single operator, or in other words, to enable a single operator to produce up to 130,000 linear meters a day. So we created a user experience team, which is working with operators, service engineers, and production managers on making sure that all human interaction points support that mission. One example for the work of this team is the new operator station design. We wanted to empower the operator and give him or her confidence that the output of the press is exactly what it needs to be. In our early user research, we understood that we need to have 3 main areas in the operator station. One for each main task that the operator deals with. One is all about managing the queue of jobs that the operator is supported to print during the shift. The second is all about press status and maintenance. The third is all about process control visualization, or in simple words, how can we give the operator confidence that what's being printed right now is at good quality and they don't need to stop the press in order to check it. The key in the operator station design is to give the operator control and confidence so they don't need to stop the press, so you can get the max productivity of the HP Indigo V12.
So this is really impressive. And actually an important part of the label production is actually the converting. Yogev, how do we address that?
Yeah, so automation in production is actually super important for the V12 because otherwise you'll be running very fast but then stopping too often. So we have actually partnered here with few of our industry-leading vendors to work on basically 2 elements of the automation here. One is with the replacements of the reel. We have a automatic a butt splicer to replace the reels at the beginning, and an automatic turret rewinder at the end for full automation of reel replacement. And we're also working with our partner AB Graphics on a Digicon that will be working hand in hand with the Indigo V12 to enable full automation also of the converting part.
Great. So let's hear a little bit from a customer who's actually been exposed to the V12 and hear his views. It's actually a customer that is on our advisory council that you mentioned before. And I'd like to hear from Leif Persson from StrongPoint in Sweden. So let's hear from Leif. Hi, Leif.
Hello, this is Leif Persson from StrongPoint Labels, working from home in this strange time, Corona time. I was asked to talk a little bit about the new portfolio of presses that Indigo was supposed to show us on Drupa. A little bit background about StrongPoint Labels. We were among the first that bought the Indigo 4000 in 2003. People thought that we were crazy buying that machine, but there was a good machine that works perfectly for us, and we were the first one in Sweden. And after that, we bought 6000, 66, 68. 3 years ago, we were one of the 5 first in the world to buy the 8000 because we have a wet dream to become totally digital. And that's been a good press as well, and been running good on that machine, and running medium-size runs on that, actually up to 10,000 linear meters. And now with a new V12 that's coming out, it's an amazing machine. I mean, the team there in Israel have done a tremendous work with that new V12 machine. I mean, Series 6 is something that's really going to push the competitors out of the way and making it possible to become totally digital. I mean, 120 meter a minute in digital and 1600 DPI. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm really looking forward to see that press when this Corona is over. So great work, great press, and great portfolio of all the presses that you have shown on the web for us. It's amazing. So good work, and I'm really looking forward to see the press running as well. So take care. Bye.
Thank you so much, Leif, for the kind words. We really are all excited about the HP Indigo V12 and the future that it can bring to the label market. And speaking of future, Yuval, when will the V12 actually be available?
Well, Maya, for a production beast like the V12, we want to make sure it runs smoothly in all the different scenarios our customers may use it. So we have a rigorous plan of testing, both in-house and at customer beta sites. We wish to complete before the full release. We currently target availability in 2022 after such testing.
Okay, thank you, Yuval. And with that, let's move on to our next topic. I'd like to switch gears a little bit from the future to the current and talk a little bit more about volume production in the label market today. Yogev, maybe you can share your insight here.
So yes, our customers are asking already today, they're not waiting for the V12, they're asking already today to push the curve and run on the Indigo's longer runs. You can see here the distribution of the runs of our customers as they are today, and they want actually to capture with all the Indigo capabilities longer run. And for that, we have the Indigo 8000. And the Indigo 8000 is designed to take runs that are above the 1,500 meters range, and all the way you heard Leif before talking about also putting up on it runs that are as long as 10,000 meters. This is the range where the Indigo 8000 is designed to run, and customers are leveraging the fact that they have the capability to work together with the 6900 in combination with the same color strategy, the same workflow strategy, the same operator, the same parts. So basically leveraging an Indigo end-to-end ecosystem.
Excellent. And I think actually what would be best is to hear a perspective on that directly from one of our customers. And I'd like to hear from Dion Labels in the US. They actually installed their Indigo 8000 just last year. So let's hear what John has to say about that.
Hi, this is John Dion. I just want to talk a little bit about our new Indigo 8000. We're very satisfied with this press. It's a great press. It fits right in between our two 6800 presses in terms of productivity and the Flexo room. We're able to do much more complicated print jobs than we ever were able to do in the Flexo department, and now we can handle the length of jobs that would otherwise be have been in the Flexo department, and we would have struggled to produce. At the same time, the 8000 is no more difficult to run than the 6800. We use the same operators, the same supplies, the same parts. It's really a drop-in solution for us and fits perfectly with our existing fleet of equipment, but gives us much greater capability to produce more work faster. It's been an excellent addition to our operation.
Thank you. So, Yuval, have we seen any impact of the recent crisis actually on the 8,000 volumes that we're seeing with our customers?
Well, actually, Maya, in the recent crisis, we've seen growing demand for fast turnaround, and the volumes on the 8,000 have grown significantly by over 40–50%. We're also seeing a significant increase of customers using EPM in order to increase their capacity on the press.
So this is really like a peak that we're seeing these days on the longer runs and the volume. Okay, so now tell me, Yogev, we're introducing the HP Indigo 8K, this new press. What's new here?
So in the HP Indigo 8K, we're actually listening to our customers and trying to bring few things that have been a request, direct requests from many of the users of the Indigo 8000. And this is, first of all, improvement in the color consistency. So we're bringing the Spot Master capabilities into the 8000. It's also super important because of the color matching between the two engines. We're also improving on the waste reduction quite significantly. We're adding more inks, and in general, we're making the press more productive, the new DFE as well.
Okay, so let's see it a little bit more in depth and hear about it from our product manager, Elad, about these improvements in the lab. Hi, Elad.
Our customer want the 8K to print even more than the 8,000. On the 8,000, they generate $2.5 million in revenue in a single shift. And for the 8K, we try to do it even more productive. So the first thing we did is build a set of array, dual waveguide sensors, in order to improve the changeovers of substrate from different width. Now it's done without any waste of both substrate and time. The next thing we introduced for the 8K is a resume function in the end of roll. The 8K and the 8000 are both very, very fast. The rolls are finished very frequently. So now the changeovers of rolls, when the rolls are end, it's done automated with less waste and faster. And the last thing I would like to highlight now about what we introduced for the 8K is the Spot Master, the same as for the 6K. And the Spot Master will help us even improve the color performance, the engine-to-engine color consistency, reaching the most difficult and challenging colors. So these are the three main features that are new for the 8K, on top of new inks and production automation, Production Pro, Press Predictive Care, and all the goodies that you heard about the 6K. So I would like to present the new 8K. It's a great press.
Thank you, Elad. Yes, it is a great press. So I want to move on and actually to the next topic and talk a little bit more about the Indigo 20,000 and our new Indigo 25K. That's basically our mid-web solution for labels. And I want to ask first, what are the advantages of actually using a mid-web solution for volume label production? Yogev?
So first of all, the Indigo 20,000 is our mid-web solution. We started off with flexible packaging, but we have about 250 units in the field. More than a third of them are actually being used by label converters, and they use it for three main purposes. One is, first of all, the capacity of the press. Because of the width, you can actually get higher throughput on the press. The second reason is for the larger labels. You can run larger labels because of the wider web. And the third reason is actually for verification, for diversification, for different applications. So people are actually moving from labels into shrink sleeve or into flexible packaging, and many of our label converters are actually taking that route of moving from labels into additional markets to diversify their business.
Got it. So let's hear again from one of our customers, QTL in the United States. They do volume label production on their 20,000, and let's hear their take on it. So let's hear from Rob. Hi, Rob.
Hey everyone, Rob with QTL here at our QTL 8000. So right now we're running a lot of beer can labels. What we're seeing with the COVID response is with everybody stuck at home with their wives, their spouses, and their family, we're seeing alcohol use is up a lot. So this machine right now, we're having to run 2 shifts a day trying to keep up for our alcohol customers. We're also throwing in a few large run label orders for hand sanitizers. Just last week, we produced 1.5 million pressure sensitive labels for hand sanitizers. That order has already been fulfilled, and we're getting another order today for another 1.5 million. So between beer and sanitizers, our 8,000 is staying busy. We're using our 20,000 right now to produce hand sanitizing wipe labels. So this customer came to us with the project, needing them turned fast, so we put them on our 6900. As the volume increased and the demand increased across the United States, we've now moved the project to the 20,000. So we'll print this 3 wide on our 20,000, and then we'll take it over to our slitter, slit it down, and die cut. This way, we can produce the 50,000 labels that our customer needs by Monday and be able to turn them around in a couple days versus spending days on press. Hope everyone's staying safe out there and keep those Indigos moving.
Thank you, Rob. So impressive. And Yuval, Rob actually mentioned very briefly the converting. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit more. How is converting done on this wide format?
That's a good question. So we have 2 options. The first is the Digicon 3000 from ABG, which is a mid-web converting solutions. Or the second is an inline slitter, also developed by ABG, enabling customers to slit on the press to narrow web rolls and then converting them on regular narrow web converting machines.
Okay, so now we're introducing the new Indigo 25K. What's new there?
Well, so again, we went to our customers and asked what they want to improve on the Indigo 25,000, especially for labels, and few things. First of all, again, we're bringing Spotmaster for improved color consistency and color control. We did a lot of work on waste reduction, especially on label for the time it takes to calibrate. We enabled to run 2 different type of whites on the same machine. We're upgrading the DFE to the latest version and many more things.
So quite a few things there. Let's hear a little bit more from our product manager, Kobe, who can show us more about that in the lab. Hi, Kobe.
We are really excited presenting you today the new HP Indigo 25K digital press. Take a look at this elegant new industrial design. As you can see, the new HP Indigo 25K is based on the HP Indigo 20,000 fundamentals. By the way, the Corona is still inside. So why we are so excited about this new press? Well, it will increase our customer TCO with 25% increase in short-run productivity and less waste. You wonder how? Well, we focus on 3 key areas. The first one is color automation. The second is sustainability. And the third is workflow and automation. Let's start with our top innovation, Spotmaster. A new patent algorithm bring the fastest time to color in the industry. With these features, our customer will be able to meet spot colors in less than 3 minutes, less than 3 meter waste, and achieve delta E accuracy of less than 1. Let's continue with sustainability. Sustainability is a very complex topic. We in HP Indigo believe that it all starts with responsibility. Our goal is that our presses will enable our customer print sustainable packages with minimal waste during setup, make ready, and printing time. With the new HP Indigo 25K, we have 95% less waste on daily operations. Daily operations like consumable replacement. We used to waste 16 meters, and now the waste is 30 centimeters. You can see it yourself. An additional new feature is the enhanced frame utilization. Here, we unified 2 internal eye marks, the continuous color calibration and the continuous scaling calibration into one side. So our customer will be able to print more labels or packages within one frame with less waste. There are more new features such 2 white inks on press, high concentrated ink, new inline slitter for pressure sensitive label.
Maya, I think worth mentioning here that all the features that we showed on the Indigo 25K and the 8K are basically backwards compatible to customers who have today the Indigo 20,000 and 8,000. They'll actually be able to upgrade the capabilities that Kobe and Elad just talked about.
Excellent. I think that's an important comment. So maybe you can summarize for us a little bit, what is our vision for the future of label converters in light of everything that we heard before?
Yeah, so if we look here at this chart, this is basically a summary of our strategy here. For the shorter runs and the very vast application range, we have the Indigo 6900, which has been upgraded to the Indigo 6K. We're actually going to talk in our next session about those. For the mid runs, we have the Indigo 20,000, now the 25K. We have the Indigo 8,000 or the 8K, and we talked today a lot about the Indigo V12. When you put them all together, you're actually starting to see here a pattern where actually more and more runs will be covered by full digital capabilities. And basically, we're thinking a lot about this concept because for us, it's not only a change in the way you print, it's a change in the way you do all your operations. And we call this the future digital label factory. And we think about it as a full digital label factory that basically can take hundreds and thousands of jobs per day, feed them through the presses, do the converting, do the pre-press, do the converting in a full automatic way.
Very, very clear, and I think an inspiring vision that I think a lot of us want to try to adopt. So with that, I'd like to actually thank you for taking the time today to be with us, Yuval and Yogev. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
And with that, I'd like to move on to our next topic. So we took some time to talk about the future, but actually a question that we got from a lot of customers was what can they do today in order to increase productivity and efficiency on their current fleet? And to help answer those questions, I'd like to introduce Gershon Alon. Hi, Gershon.
Hi, Maya.
Maybe you can introduce yourself?
Sure, yes. I'm Gershon Alon. I'm the head of PrintOS at HP Indigo.
Good. So glad to have you here. And Gershon, I want to deep dive a little bit more on actually production automation, because Yogev actually talked a little bit about it when he was describing the digital label factory of the future. What does that mean, and what is our strategy around these topics?
Right, sure, Maya. So production automation is a key for overall efficiency. Our strategy is based on our powerful DFE that feeds the press, enhanced by our PrintOS tools and supported by our leading industry partners that provide color, pre-press, business management, and web-to-pack tools, which are all tightly integrated into the DFE.
So I want to start breaking that down and start talking about the different components. I want to start with our new DFE. Gershon, tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure, yeah. So it's called PrintOS Production Pro DFE. It's version 8, and it supports, first of all our new presses. As well as it supports the Spotmaster technology that we just heard about. Also, it's equipped with the latest RIP version, and that RIP version actually rips at 25% faster. Also, it has better preview, better VDP composition tool, and it's too tightly integrated with the new ESCO automation engine for Indigo.
And what about pre-press? How do we address automation there?
Right. So as I said, our DFE is already integrated with the ESCO automation engine, and this enables complete automation of the pre-press. And recently, we've been working with ESCO on offering an entry-level automation engine for customers, and this is called Automation Engine for Indigo. It offers a much more simplified user experience, combined with powerful pre-press tools, that includes step and repeat, includes barcodes, include variable data, and it can create optimized layout of multiple SKUs on the web with a click of a button.
Great, thank you. And many customers are actually asking us also about MIS integration with Indigo presses. Is that a possibility?
Absolutely. Yes. So the DFE has an API. API stands for Application Programming Interface, that enable the MIS to submit jobs directly to the DFE and get status back. So they get the full visibility into the production. Also, we have Jobs API, and Jobs API delivers the job actual costing from the press to the MIS. So this enables customers to compare their quotation with the actual cost and then optimize their profitability.
Wow, so very, very important tools and helpful tools here. Gershon, how do you recommend to our customers to optimize their production?
Okay, so it's a big question. I think that they need to look not only at the press, they need to look at the entire operational, all the operational aspects. For example, substrates, how do they manage substrates? How do they manage color management, queue management, even the knowledge and the training of their employees is all part of this efficiency.
So that sounds actually very complex and a lot of different moving parts here.
Yeah,
how should our customers address that? How should they do that?
So it is indeed a complex, and I think the key here is really to focus on the most important stuff. And today what I want to do is to highlight a very effective way to improve that production optimization and to find those areas to focus on. And this is called OEE. It's overall equipment effectiveness. It's a known standard. It's not an HP Indigo invention. And actually, let's hear Anat Kaner explaining more about it.
Hi everyone, I'm Anat. I'm the OEE product manager. OEE stands for Overall Equipment Effectiveness. With the OEE, you can see exactly how much time out of your planned production time the press was actually productive and how much time was wasted on activities that are considered as OEE loss. With PrintBit OEE, we provide the out-of-the-box mode. There is a lot of information that we pull fully automatically from the press, such as the time that is spent when the press is available to print only because there are no jobs in queue, or the time that is spent on jam or PIP replacement or failure recovery time. With PrintBit OEE, we present the data as a combination of press automatic input and user input, so you will be able to get the most out of your equipment. Customers that are using the OEE confirm that they were able to increase their press throughput by up to 20% within weeks, and in most of the cases with minimal efforts. Some customers shared with me that they were able to increase the press utilization from 40% of OEE to 60% OEE simply because they just told the operators that now they are going to start measuring the effectiveness of their press or their shift or the effectiveness of the operator.
Thank you, Anat.
Thanks. So, and how about the question of versioning and multiple SKUs and actually even VDP? I know that comes up quite a bit, especially these days. How do you automate that?
Right, so we have a suite of design tools that meet a variety of customer needs. Tools for more automated design. You would be surprised that design can be automated. And for generating multiple versions and SKUs, and even an automated tool to create millions of variable PDFs and saves time and avoid expensive investment of our customers.
Maybe you can share with us a few examples of that and what can be done with these tools.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can show you here a few examples. Well, all the examples here are showing a very attractive and very creative design, right? And they are using the HP Mosaic and HP Collage. But actually, those samples deliver much more. They have a purpose. And let me give you one example. So the Amarula. The Amarula is, the purpose of this piece is to help preserve the African elephant. There are only 400,000 African elephants in the world, and Amarula used this to help to preserve them. Another example I want to show you is the Actimel. So you can see that every item here is different, right? And what Actimel did is they've used that to have a contest, a weekly contest with the consumers. The consumers had to show a certain, to match a certain image and to get a prize. The last example I want to show you is from a Chinese soft drink vendor. And what they've done, like this. So what you can see here is collage. And they've used that collage together with a social media campaign to get engagement with their customers. They got, 2 million responses in just 2 months from this package.
Amazing.
So what we see is that all those packages are very high value, and high value packages also means high margin, right? So high margin and better engagement with your vendors.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Gershon, a hot trend right now in the labels market is actually web to pack. So the ability to take orders completely virtually and move to production with minimal manual touch points.
Yeah.
With today's social distancing, I think this becomes even more important. And a lot of customers have actually asked us what we offer in this space. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So we see three types of web to pack solutions. The first one is targeting the medium and the small brands that are looking to order packages in smaller quantities and at affordable prices. Now, companies like XMPie and Indigo are offering such storefronts as a turnkey solution. The second web to pack solution is offered by MIS vendors like CERM or like LabelTrax or PrintIQ. And these solutions enable existing customers of the converter to go online and to place new orders or reorder, or even they can create a quote all by themselves. They don't have to bother the CSR. The third solution is helping converters' brands to increase consumer engagement, like the example that I showed you. So it's all part of the brand marketing and social media campaigns. And typically, this type of web to print creates enable consumers to customize and to personalize their package and ship it directly to the consumer.
So what this actually means is actually producing hundreds and even thousands of jobs a day. And
High
that's
quantity.
quite a complex thing to manage. But we actually have customers already doing that today.
Correct.
So let's hear maybe from one of them, Inkworks Printing from Wisconsin in the United States. So let's take a look.
We are an all-digital printing company solely focused on the HP Indigo press. The products that we produce range from in-mold labels that go into stadium cups to appliance products as well as food packaging. The real advantage of digital printing is multiple SKUs. As you grow, you have more and more transactions all the time. And that's a big challenge. How do you get all of these SKUs through your operation as seamlessly as possible? I was at D-Scoop and I saw the presentation of SiteFlow. And when I saw that, it's like, whoa, this is exactly everything we want.
The beauty of PrintOS SiteFlow is because everything is so automated, it's a lot less labor to get a job out the door. The volume of labels that we produce is approximately 50,000 labels a day. The business impact is incredible. We've grown at least 30 to 40%. Inkworks alone will increase $1 million in sales, and we've only added one employee in the process. It's incredible. Inkworks in the next 2 years, its goal is going to be doing 1,000 orders a day. I mean, I would have never thought that would even be possible.
What a great example of a customer who's both productive and innovative.
Yeah, absolutely. And being innovative is really, really hard. It's a never-ending race for improvement, a continuous search for new ideas.
Yeah, I agree. It is a challenge. Are you hinting something? Are you hinting here that PrintOS can help with this too?
Actually, I am. I am. It's PrintOS Marketplace. So PrintOS Marketplace is not only an app store. It's a collection of software tools, of print samples, of presentations, and more. Marketplace is a great source of information about the recent market trends, about business opportunities. There are also hundreds of print samples and artwork files that customers can actually customize to their own needs, pitch it to their customers. So all these samples, all these presentations, all these webinars are free of charge.
So what are you actually saying? That the tools that we spoke about earlier, the VDP tools, the OEE, the Jobs API, all of those are available on Marketplace?
Yes.
Oh yeah, and you can see an example of what it looks like right here, yeah.
Yeah, and right now, most of those applications that you've mentioned, including all of those applications are free of charge until August 1st. This is to help customers, during this COVID-19 pandemic. More information on the program can be found on the PrintOS Marketplace.
Thank you, Gershon. And I really do invite all of you to visit Marketplace, to take advantage of this offer, to explore more the tools and the ideas that we have there. I think this is a great time for education and learning. So I really do encourage you to do that. Thank you, Gershon. And so with that, today's show is actually coming to a close, and I'd like to summarize what we've covered today. We talked about the HP Indigo V12. We took a closer look at some of our high-volume production presses, and we discussed automation tools which can help label converters increase their productivity and efficiency. Next time, in our next session, we'll be talking about new business opportunities in exciting areas such as brand protection, shrink sleeves, pouches, campaigns, and much, much more. In the meantime, we invite you to keep asking your questions at hpindigolive@hp.com. I want to thank you for taking the time to be with us today, and thank you, Gershon. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and we hope to see you again soon.